Is it still worth buying the DJI Mavic 3 Pro 1.5 years after its release? I've used it as my main drone for such a long time. I got to shoot big projects with it, crash it, travel around the world, and here's what I can tell you 1.5 years later. The biggest advantage of this drone is the triple camera system. But is it that good? Let's start with the main camera, which is the one I use most of the time. The Micro Four Thirds sensor just delivers. The quality is amazing, and it's actually the best quality that you can achieve on a consumer drone. Not talking about the DJI Inspire 3, which costs like 15K plus. Then there's the medium tele zoom camera. It has a 3x optical zoom. It's a really good camera, and I use it many times, but there's a difference between the Mavic 3 Pro medium tele zoom camera and the DJI Air 3 medium tele zoom camera. Because on the Air 3 we have a specific advantage. It is that we can shoot vertical videos with the medium tele zoom lens. So we can shoot 9x16 straight out of the Air 3. The Mavic 3 Pro cannot do this, which is a disadvantage compared to the Air 3, but still the camera looks great and I still can use it vertically for Instagram shorts, whatever. Just keep in mind that the medium tele zoom camera of the Air 3 is a bit better if you want to shoot vertical, because it can shoot 9x16 and it actually uses more of the upper and lower parts of the sensor. Now, I hope that I have enough B-roll with the 7x zoom camera, the third camera, because I don't use it that often. You can notice the quality difference between the medium tele zoom and the tele zoom camera, because the sensor of this 7x tele zoom camera is smaller. And it's not just because of the camera, it's also because of humidity or the weather. The camera zooms a lot, and if it's humid weather or you have some fog between the drone lens and the actual landscape, then you will get some blurry videos which have less saturation and less sharpness. So it's not because of the drone, it's just because of the weather conditions, and yeah, a tiny bit because of the drone, because the 7x zoom camera has a smaller sensor. So I don't use it that often, but there's some scenarios where this camera shines, for example at sunset or sunrise, where you get silhouette shots of a specific subject. So you have like just a silhouette of an object, for example a person, and then you get the beautiful colors of the sunset, sunrise in the background, and the sun or the moon will look bigger on this camera as well, because due to the zoom, the background objects appear larger. Overall, with these three cameras, you will achieve lots of variety and especially a great quality on the main camera and the medium tele zoom lens. After 1.5 years later and over 400 flights with this drone, I still use the same batteries, and they seem to still have good capacity. When traveling with 3 batteries, I always had enough power for a whole day of shooting, even in higher wind conditions. And by the way, that's a good point about the Mavic 3 Pro as well. It's heavier and it has lots of power, so if it's windy, the drone just doesn't care. You'll get clean shots, which is a really good point about this drone, which means you can get great shots even if the weather isn't the best. By the way, I also flew the drone during rainfall or snowfall, and it worked out great. The drone survived, the shots turned out great, but don't try this by yourself. You won't be insured, and this drone isn't officially like waterproof or something, so just don't do it. Or actually, you can get some amazing shots, so if you do it, it's on your own risk. I fly a lot. For example, when I've been to Indonesia for 4 months, I flew the drone at least 2 times a day. And when flying that much, crashes can happen. Luckily, the Mavic 3 Pro has omnidirectional obstacle sensing, which helped a lot. But I often fly in sports mode. And you know, in sports mode, obstacle sensing is non-existent. Once, for example, I flew right into a tree sideways that was just above the ocean, and I was kinda lucky because the drone got stuck in the tree and didn't fall in the ocean, in the salt water. It probably would have been destroyed. So I found a long stick because some people were building a boat, so I just borrowed as a long, like really long stick and tried to get the drone back. And at one point, after some tries, I finally hit the drone, it fell down and I caught it, luckily. So this story had a happy end. Of course, here and there were some small crashes, but it's pretty crash resistant, so it's built really robust. The only thing I ever had to replace where the propeller is, but even if something breaks, I had some really good experience with the DJI support, and repairing a drone usually doesn't cost that much. I just crashed my Air 2S a couple of years ago. It was fully broken, like the gimbal was broken, the arm was broken, and I just paid something around 100 euros for the repair, which is still a lot of money, but compared to buying a new drone, this was really cheap. To give you an even better understanding of the camera quality of the DJI Mavic 3 Pro, let me show you some clips.
A land where nature's glory unfolds in every direction. Here, the wild beauty of the African continent meets the mystical charm of the Indian Ocean. Just off the northwest coast lies Nosy Be, an island paradise where turquoise waters kiss white sandy shores. Welcome to Madagascar.
The video quality is great, right? But it's also about the sound. The voiceover that you've just heard has been created with the new Artlist AI voiceover feature. And there are so many reasons why you should use this AI voiceover feature. It's cost effective, fast, and rich in variety. So did you ever want a realistic voiceover for your YouTube videos or Reels as well? Here are 3 steps on how to achieve that. Go to Artlist's new voiceover AI feature. Choose a style that fits your video and type in your text. That's it. One tip I could give you is to choose a voiceover style that fits your video mood and background music style. And secondly, ask yourself, what's the pace of my video and background music? Is it fast? Use a faster voice. Is it slow? Use a slower, calm voice. So now you can use the link in the description to get a special Artlist offer and use the new voiceover AI feature. Try it by yourself now. After the Mavic 3 Pro, there have been some other exciting releases like the DJI Mini 4 Pro and the DJI Air 3. And every one of these drones has a specific point which makes it even better than the Mavic 3 Pro in a specific way. First, as I told you before, the Air 3 has a significant advantage by shooting vertical on the medium tele zoom lens. You will still get a better horizontal quality on the main camera, on the Mavic 3 Pro for sure, but if you mainly need a drone that shoots medium tele for vertical videos, then the Air 3 would be a great choice for you. Everything else is better on Mavic 3 Pro. And talking about the Mini 4 Pro, its big advantage is the weight. With less than 249 grams. It's so easy to travel with, and it's also easier to get permission to fly in cities or so. Its camera quality is good as well, but of course the Mavic 3 Pro still has the better camera quality by far. But there's one big point which distinguishes the Mavic 3 Pro from all the other drones. We'll talk about that in a second. You see, every DJI drone category has its own advantages. The DJI Mini series is lightweight. The DJI Air series is a great all-round package, and the Mavic series is here to allow you the best quality for a consumer drone. And that's what the Mavic 3 Pro is about. Amazing photos and videos. Even after 1.5 years, it's the top-notch model when it comes to shooting wide-angle aerials. There's also one specific point about the Mavic 3 Pro. While the latest Mini and Air series only allows for the color profile D-Log M, the Mavic 3 Pro allows for D-Log. And this color profile allows for better video quality by providing a higher dynamic range and a better color contrast. So if you want to achieve the best quality in your videos, the Mavic 3 Pro is still the way to go. And as soon as the Mavic 4 or something like that will be released, I'll drop a video about that. So make sure to follow and drop a like if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. See you soon on the next videos.